Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel of Get Set Law by IMS. I'm your verbal ability mentor Sanjana ma'am, and today I will be continuing figures of speech, a couple of which I'm going to discuss in under 5 minutes. Make sure you watch the previous video, I've discussed a couple of them there as well. Now let's get started. Now the first one for this one here is anaphora. Now anaphora is a literary device which you use in the sense that the initial words or phrases are the same for every successive clause. For example, it rained on his lousy tombstone, and do you see how it rained is also repeated in the second statement here or the second clause, and similarly it rained all over the place. So very easy to identify what anaphora as a figure of speech is. Another example is I came, I saw, I conquered. So do you see how I is being repeated in all the clauses? So this is an anaphora. Now the opposite of anaphora is epiphora or apostrophe. Here what happens is the last words of every successive clause are the same. For example, of the people, for the people, by the people, right? So do you see the people being repeated in every clause here, right? So quite easy to understand, but also the names are fancy, so I thought you might as well just learn these as well, right? Now the next one is chiasmus. Here you will see the entire statement of words being repeated but in reverse order. Very simple to understand. I eat to live and not live to eat. For example, hypothetically saying, right? This one is you forget what you want to remember and you remember what you want to forget. Do you see how this entire statement is getting repeated but in reverse order? Again, quite easy to spot. Post that we have euphemism, and this is a figure of speech I believe you should know. Euphemism is when you use a word to indirectly refer to something which is rather of a very grievous or serious nature, right? For example, you don't say that somebody has expired, you'd rather use to kick the bucket, right? Last night the old man kicked the bucket, which means he passed away, right? In between jobs is a phrase, it's a euphemistic expression that you use to refer to a person who is unemployed, who doesn't have a job for the time being, but instead of using the word directly, you would use in between jobs, right? So this is what euphemism is. Next one we have is apostrophe, which is used when you're trying to address somebody or something which at the point of addressing is not present at the scene, or something that you're not aware about. Oh brave sword, lead me to victory. So it's not like the sword was there at the time of addressing it. Similarly, when you say oh God, it's not like God is immediately there, right? So it's used to address something that is inanimate or not present at the time of addressing it, right? And then we have zeugma, which has also sort of become quite popular these days. Not that you know what it is, but you end up using it subconsciously. Zeugma is when you use one phrase which governs two words but in different contexts. For example, take a look at this statement. The family trip was so hectic that by the end, Lola had lost her patience and her car keys, right? She had lost what? The word lost is governing two different words now. One is she is losing her patience, which is more of a figure of speech, right? So it's a comparison, right? And the last one is she has lost her car keys. Do you see how lost as a word is applying in different contexts, right? I lost my cars and my keys and my patience, right? So this is what zeugma is, right? They covered themselves, so the word covered is governing two words but differently, in different contexts, in a different logical approach. They covered themselves with dust and with glory, right? So again, it is used to create a very floral impact on the passage, to beautify your writing. And then we have epigram, which is nothing but a short witty statement. So anytime you have very witty statements, just understand it's an epigram. Nobody is free until everybody is free. Something which is very proverbial or idiomatic in its usage. Pithy statements, right? And the last one we have onomatopoeia, which is when in a statement there is emphasis on the sound of something. So for example, the ducks quacked, right? So quacked here determines the sound that the ducks made. Similarly, in this example, the horses hooves clip-clopped on the cobblestones. So clip-clopped is emphasizing the sound that the hooves made when the horses were probably walking, right? So that's about this. And then you also have another one, which is assonance. The green leaves under the tree, his tender air might bear his memory. Just understand one thing. Assonance is when there is rhyme and rhythm, right? When there is an emphasis on similar sounds of vowels involved. So the green here, right? Do you see how it rhymes with leaves? E in both the words. Similarly, tree, right? So you have green leaves tree. Similarly, in the second one, tender air, right? Tender is there, A-E-R. Air is there, bear is there, right? A-R is there, right? So again, here is an emphasis on similar vowel sounds here. This is an example of assonance. There's a lot of rhyming here, right? And then I have a bonus statement for you. Which figure of speech reflects here? You need to let me know in the comment section. So that's about this session. I hope you understand it. If you want to connect with us, you can definitely connect us to these platforms. Thank you so much. Have a great day.